Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how I make this Tunisian crochet mitered square with two colors, alternating colors on each row. I'm using a 5.0 millimeter hook, scissors, a yarn needle, and 100% cotton yarn, and this is a cone of yarn in white, and I think this one is called Mod Pink. So we will start with the white. With a slip knot on the hook, and I'm going to chain 12. If you make a different size, just chain an even number. The row count is actually going to be an odd number because we will decrease on the first and actually every row on this project. On the first triangle, on the second triangle we will increase. So let's see, how many did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now for this project, I am inserting my hook in the back loop of every chain, not the back bump. There are advantages to using the back bump in some projects, but this one is not one of them. It's best to use the back loop. And you'll see why when we get to the edging. So I insert my hook in the back loop and pull up a loop and leave it on the hook in every chain. By the way, I'm using a regular crochet hook instead of a Tunisian hook, and that's because this particular motif is small enough that I can do that. If I were working on a larger motif, I would need to switch over and use a regular Tunisian crochet hook. They're also called Afghan hooks. They're longer so that you can fit more stitches on per row. All right, there's the last chain. So I should have 12 loops on my hook. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay. Now, in many Tunisian crochet patterns, the first stitch on the return pass, you yarn over and pull through just one loop, and that is effectively making a chain stitch. You're not going to do that in this pattern, and the reason why is because we're making a triangle, so we want an angle going up. We're creating a diagonal line. So on the very first stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2 on every stitch back to the other side. And when you have 2 loops left on your hook, this is when we will introduce the new color. So I leave a long tail so that I can weave it in later, and then just hook the new color over my hook, and yarn over and pull it through. So now I have the white, the pink, and the tail of the pink. Since I need to start working with the pink, I want to get it brought to the front and the other 2 strands to the back. Kind of need to pull on them a little bit to tighten them down. Now we're working into vertical bars. This is a vertical bar. So insert your hook under the bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, continue that all the way to the other side. Also, because we're making a mitered square, it's important, in order to keep this thing square, that you keep your loops short. You don't want to pull them up too tall, otherwise you'll have a wonky shaped square. It won't be a square, it'll be a wonky shape. Okay, there's the last vertical bar. Now notice that slanting strand right there. That's the 12th stitch, and because we decreased, we should now only have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 loops on the hook. And then do the same thing. Yarn over, pull through 2. Repeating that until you have only 2 loops left on the hook. Now I'm going to change colors, so I put the pink to the back and bring the white working yarn up from behind, yarn over and pull through with the white for the last yarn over. Notice I pulled down on that tail of the pink to make that vertical bar shorter. Okay, now another forward pass, keeping the loops on the hook short. And there's the last vertical bar. We're not working into the slanting strand. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the first row we had 12 loops on the hook, then 11, and now 10. Yarn over, pull through 2, all the way back. Till you have 2 loops on the hook. Now it's time to change color again. So this time I'm bringing the white to the front and picking up the pink from the back. The reason I do that is to keep the 2 yarn balls from getting tangled with each other. Now I move the strand I'm not working with down into the back. And then I'm going to pick up loops in all the vertical bars. And continue on with this until I have 11 rows. Okay, I've made some progress. Each row is a decreasing row, so you can see that the triangle is getting narrower at the top. Let's count and see how many rows we've done so far. I count these V's along the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And remember I said we have to do 11 rows. So the next step is to pick up the vertical bars. And in this row there are only 2 of them. Yarn over, pull through 2. Now I only have 2 loops left on the hook, so I put the pink to the back, pull the white up from behind, yarn over, and pull through. My next row, it consists of only 1 stitch. and I'm using the white. So yarn over, pull up a loop. Now ordinarily, with 2 loops left on the hook, I would switch to the other color. However, because this is the last row and we want the last row to be the same color on both halves of the triangle so that we can match up the lines of color, we're going to keep the white, keep working with the white, but the pink, I want to capture it so that it doesn't have too big of a float on the back of the work. So I'm going to bring it over the white just for this one stroke. Yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, now this part is a little tricky, so watch closely. Now we're going to turn the triangle on its side, and we're going to be working back up this long slope. Notice that the bars that were vertical are now horizontal. Now, this first row of the second triangle is a little tricky. So here's what we're going to do. I need to insert my hook in the slanting bar. In this second triangle, we are going to be working into the slanting bars. There are no vertical bars in this first stitch, so we insert into the slanting bar, which is very close to where we're already working. Yarn over, pull through to make 2 loops on the hook. And now we're going to change colors. So I'm bringing the white forward to keep it untangled, pulling the pink back from behind, yarn over, pull through. Now I've got my first row of the second triangle, and it consists of 1 stitch. See the white stitch here? See the V of the white stitch? That's the 11th row of the decreasing triangle. And then we've got 1 white stitch here, which is the first row of the increasing triangle. Okay, so working with pink, we don't have any vertical bars still, so we're going to insert in this horizontal bar of the same color, yarn over, pull up a loop, and we're going to insert in the slanting strand of that same color. Yarn over, pull up a loop. So we now have 3 loops on the hook for row 2. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2. Now we have 2 loops left on the hook. Put the pink to the back, bring the white back up from behind, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. So now we've got 2 rows of the second increasing triangle. And this one has a vertical bar for us to use now. So using the white, insert in the vertical bar, yarn over, pull up a loop, and insert in the horizontal bar of the same white, and insert in the slanting bar of the white. 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Keep doing that until you have 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to change color, pull the white to the front, pick the pink up from the back, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. Using the pink, work tangled up here, work the vertical bars. In this case there are 2 of them. Work the horizontal bar of the same color and the slanting strand of the same color. 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, repeating until only 2 loops are on the hook. Put the pink to the back, bring the white up from behind, yarn over, pull it through. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows accomplished of the second triangle, and the colors are making 90-degree angles with each other. So I've worked all the vertical bars in the pink. Now I switch over, well, I don't switch over, I just go over to the white, pick up the horizontal bar of the white and the slanting bar of the white. Yarn over, pull through 2. Two loops left on the hook, bring the white forward, pull the pink up from behind, yarn over, pull through the last 2. I'm going to put that white out of the way and work with the pink. Okay, I pulled up all the vertical bars out of the white. Now I am ready for a horizontal bar and a slanting bar of the pink. All right, I've made progress and I'm now on the 11th row of the increasing triangle, getting ready to finish it up over to the corner. There's one more vertical bar left in the pink color. I go over here to the horizontal bar, and there's the slanting bar of the white. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Two loops left on the hook, bring the white forward, pick up the pink from behind, yarn over and pull through. Now let's double check, make sure we have 11 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And if you got your vertical bars short and your horizontal bars a little bit wider than you might feel comfortable with, then you're going to have a square. Okay, now the rest of the square is going to be the edging, and I am finished with the white, so I'm going to snip it off so that I can use that and weave it in later. Now, for the first side of the edging, you can see that the stitches have a big gap in between them. And so we're going to overcome that just on this one side by doing what I call a modified single crochet. So the first thing to do is chain 1, then insert the hook from side to side as in Tunisian simple stitch, but also insert it under the horizontal bar that's just beside it. And make a single crochet. Let's do that again. Side to side and under just the front horizontal bar beside it, make a single crochet. one more. All right, let's count and make sure we have 11 stitches. And for this purpose, I'm counting the bottoms of the stitches, not the tops. The vertical V's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is what we want. Now, chain 1 to make a corner. Rotate the piece clockwise, and now we have vertical bars along this edge. And just be aware, there's a lot of material over here that you're going to ignore. Instead, you're going to start with this vertical bar right here, and you're going to insert side to side under the vertical bar and under both of these horizontal strands that are just beside it. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both and make a single crochet. I have one more vertical bar left. And the last stitch is going to be worked under both vertical bars at the edge. Now let's count this side to make sure we have 11. Counting the bottoms of the stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Okay, and now a chain 1 for the corner. And now you will notice that we have an entirely different configuration along this side of the square. And I'm going to show you what I decided not to do before I show you what I decided to do. If I wanted to, I could just single crochet in every stitch along the edge. That's the simple thing to do. And it makes a nice looking edge, all except for one thing. And you'll see when I get a little farther along what it is. Do you see how there are little blips of the opposite color at the ends of each of these rows? If you like that, do that, but I don't. Here's what I like instead. So I'm going to take out all of these stitches on this edge and do this. I am now working back post single crochet stitches. So what I do with that is I bring the hook from back to front and then front to back, so that I've got, I'm working around the post of the stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've made a back post single crochet, and let me show you what this looks like as we get further. So I'm going to do that in every stitch. So let's pause and take a look. Do you see what that did? That turns the edge of those rows, alternating colors, makes nice little V's lean forward on the front of the work. Okay, I have 2 stitches left to work on this edge. The last one is around that post right there. All right, let's count these stitches. There's the chain, not counting the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so after 11 stitches, we need a chain for the corner. And then we're going to do that same thing along this edge. Back post single crochet. So there's the first post right there. Back to front, front to back, yarn over, pull through all of that, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, I have now arrived at the last / first corner. I have another back post single crochet to work. And let's count. That's the chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Now I need a chain 1 for the corner. And I'm going to do an invisible join, also known as a needle join. So I'm cutting the yarn, pulling it out through the last stitch, threading it into a yarn needle, and I work my needle join not in this stitch, that is the chain that we started with, but in the second stitch right here. So under both horizontal loops of the V, front to back, then I go back into the same stitch out of which the working yarn is coming, front to back, pull on it until the tension equals the same size as the surrounding stitches. Turn it over on the back. And this is what I do. You don't have to do it, but I tie a gentle knot and then a second knot, and I pull this one a little more tightly. And then I weave in all these ends. Okay, I've woven in all the ends except this one here, and this is the tail that we started with, and this knot right here is the initial knot, the slip knot we put on the hook when we very first started. And you don't have to do this, but I like to, because do you see that's a pretty big knot? I'm going to undo that knot. Okay, I've got it started. Okay, I've loosened it. I mean, I've unwound it, unknotted it until it's a nice flat area now. So now I can just weave in the end. Okay, this is the back. I've woven in all the ends, and this is the front. We started, where did we start? Right here. We started this way with our long row, and then a decreasing row all the way up until we got to this corner. Then we turned it this way and worked the increasing triangle. So there you have the little 2-color Tunisian crochet, mitered square, alternating colors every row. Thanks for watching.